Hello, good night, everyone. I hope you're having a good time. Let me, Jesus Christ, they don't need to see that I have little. Hi. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing good. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome to the RuneThorne post-mortem. Jesus, I need to actually create a proper scene for this.
Post-mortem?
Yeah, the post-mortem report. Yeah, RuneThorne is dead. Like, RuneThorne is dead.
And I killed it.
Yeah, we have the lovely lunarafia that has killed RuneThorne. Give me a second. I forgot to bring up my phone so I can at least see chat. I mean, I probably don't need it, but I need it as well.
No, you need it.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm looking at my. No, he's through myself.
He's gonna find it.
I'm looking. So let me start us off. Let me start us off with before we get into for those of you who aren't aware or who have not usually tuned into my Minecraft content, which is, you know, a big mistake. You might need it play play it safe. You might need it play it safe. Okay, cool. So before we jump right into, you know, the death of and everything around it, a few things first. Did you know Lasco is made in Jamaica?
Really?
Yeah, the drink Lasco, it's made in Jamaica.
There's a drink called Lasco.
Yeah, Lasco, like it's a powder. It's usually a powdered drink.
Oh,
like,
I googled it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I thought you meant the fan.
no, not Lasco fans. Lasco fans, I don't know who makes them. Which also segues me into I'm drinking Lasco right now. The milk.
Ooh.
The milk drink. Well, it's actually chocolate. And it's chocolate caramel. It was $3.
Chocolate caramel?
Yeah. Yeah, chocolate caramel. It was like $3.50. It was like $3.50. Amazing. Which for the people here who are not from the lovely Twin Island country of Trinidad and Tobago, that is the equivalent. Let me also put Luna in the mini square that I have here. I'm reusing my art scene for the time being. So yeah. But for the people that aren't from the lovely Twin Island country of Trinidad and Tobago, and closest currency, like half an US buck. So 50 cents.
Half an us. 50 cents.
50 cents,
I feel like that's a good deal for a refreshing drink.
Yeah. I'm gonna be drinking this tonight. Yeah. So, I really need to do an actual art overlay when I get the chance. So, now that the tension's being broken, how do I summarize RuneThorne? How do I summarize RuneThorne in a nice creative way, in a nice, professional summary way?
Minecraft
Okay.
and D&D.
Okay, so I'll try my best here. RuneThorne was a Minecraft and D&D modded experience where you would play as a particular class and you would be sorted into a faction or be factionless, and then you would partake in an adventure in a riveting story-based world, developed through the efforts of Tamino King, lunarafia, and Knowles. I feel like I've covered most of it correctly. I'm hoping, or at least the three major ones. For the like a summary experience.
Mhm.
Great, fantastic. Way off to a fantastic start.
We're
So,
doing great.
if you didn't know, everyone, I was playing on the server for, let's say, over like, when did the server start? Like in February, right? Or was it
Yeah, we started
March?
in like February.
So
Maybe March, February, March.
February, March. It's weird to think about. It's weird to think about in like the context of everything.
Yeah.
Um. So in terms of the server, it was started in February, March-ish. And right now, we are, well, let's say like about 3, 4 months away from it. Like it's been going on for a while. It had a miraculous life, by the way. Like I'm gonna like not beat around the bush with this. I feel like in terms of a server, I feel like my RuneThorne was one of the better experiences that I've had, especially for a modern Minecraft server. But we won't get too deep into it just yet, because there's a whole list that I have to go through, and we have at least an hour. We might also be joined by other people tonight, so there is that. And make sure that I don't accidentally open up my Discord instinctively and like start clicking on my messages.
You just
Um,
open somebody's DMs.
yeah, and it's like, yeah, I'm feeling romantic.
I'm gonna
uh,
take a screenshot.
yeah, everybody on Twitch is going to take like 15 screenshots.
Oh yeah, but we'll
Yeah,
all send it to your server.
yeah, of course, of course. Um, so in terms of agenda, hey, let's get out of the way. So, like, talk to me, talk to me.
Mhm.
What was the idea and like the about the creation of RuneThorne and stuff?
So I don't know. I just taken a big interest in D&D at the time. I don't know if it was because of like Vox Machina, or maybe we had just finished a Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. And we were in like, you know what? I was like, I feel like it's been a while since I've done like Minecraft with friends. How do I combine these two ideas? So Knowles and I, we got to thinking and did a little thinky thinking. And we're like, hear me out. D&D Minecraft server, little Minecraft SMP. So that was where like the idea came from, just like to combine those two things.
Interesting. It's like when people like finally discover for the first time that if you drop an egg into ramen, it somehow enhances the flavor. Weird
Exactly.
comparison, but it's the closest thing I got.
Are you hungry perchance?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I had barbecue. Oh my god. Real like off topic thing real quick. I had my sister cooked fried barbecue chicken wings and garlic
Ooh.
rice, and they tasted really good today.
It sounds really good.
Yeah, she found something, she put in some effort, and she created something that tastes great. And segueing back into that, let me talk a little bit about RuneThorne. Let me talk about more about the great things about RuneThorne. Um, and I'll be real with you. So there is gonna be like, let's talk about the start. Let's talk about the start. So
Okay.
the first wave of people.
Okay.
The
You have like a specific question?
mm, well, this is an interesting one. So the thing is, right? The first wave of people for RuneThorne. Give me a second. My brain is also on this hot chocolate. But the first wave
Of course, of course.
of people for RuneThorne. If you don't remember, if I'm not too sure, but there was a selection process, and I'm pretty sure there were a lot of applicants. Correct me if I'm wrong, and stop me at any point.
There
Um,
were a lot of applicants. There was more than we expected. I might still have the first form. I probably could tell you how much we had. if I could find it. But it was
Yeah,
a bit intimidating to see how many people were interested in the server.
yeah. And this was like also the first foray into doing a Minecraft server of this size. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. You have to correct me. I don't have any like experience with Minecraft servers that were like RP oriented or like with big civilization ones, and quite frankly, despite being in the VTuber sphere for like a while,
Mhm.
I don't have like the amount of attraction or like the event knowledge from collaboration for this specific category. So like it makes me wonder a little bit. Oh yeah, stuff happened. Thank you to me.
Very insightful.
Very insightful. It makes me wonder what um how do you think people just came across it? Like,
Honestly, well, I made a tweet on my my Twitter X account, but I don't use it very often. And we did start a TikTok account. We made Noel edited one trailer, I edited the other. We posted that got some good traction. And then we kind of just like through like channels of like friends we have in like the creator space, like you, Navia, King, Timmy, all of those people. That's kind of how we kind of got the news around.
yeah,
We didn't like reinvent the wheel when it came to that. But do you want to know how many applications we got for Wave 1?
yeah,
88 applications.
that is surprisingly a lot. I think like I was
Yeah.
in my mind, like, and I'm pretty sure you probably think the same way, but like, you were probably expecting that it would be not nearly as much. Like, about like what number do you have in like in mind when you expected it?
Yeah, I was expecting maybe like 30 something people to apply, Yeah, and then we had to cut that down to 20 to 30. So that was our task. And I felt so bad. I mean, no, listen to me. I was okay. He's right. Timmy saying he had to stop me from letting people under 18 in. That was also something that we had to discuss because we realized that most of the applicants skewed towards like older individuals, like adults. So we didn't really want to have a mix of like teenagers, minors, and adults. So it's like, yeah, we should just keep it to 18 plus.
Mm. I feel like that was the best decision
Yeah,
ultimately.
for sure.
Yeah, like, uh, don't get me wrong. I love the youth. 6'7". Uh, but there are certain I guess like overall I had to like temper my expectations as well. I can tell you one thing for sure. I was not expecting to I wasn't actually going to apply the first time around when I saw it
Really?
advertised. Yeah. I feel like at some point I was just like, you know what? We ball, and I feel like for some of the people that I've met on RuneThorne, that's also kind of just the modus operandi. Like, we ball, we don't think about it, and quite frankly, segueing into that, I feel like the first wave of applicants that we had on the server, were probably some of the loveliest people that I've met from my time doing like brief collabs and like stints. In fact, I feel like I've met a good quantity and quality of people. Um, how do I describe it? And also, I'm not too sure how many times we've collaborated in past, like done like little joint events together. But this is probably one of the few times where I'm sorry if my voice is putting you to sleep with how soothing it is. But uh,
It's lovely. But I
yeah,
know I'm wide awake.
yeah, agree. But we've had on the server, we've had a good few people that made long-term impressions. I feel like what's a good person that comes to mind? Do you have any people that come to mind that gave you some like really interesting impressions despite being the first time you met them or something?
Um, The first person that comes to mind is definitely next us, because I didn't know him before, and I think who recommended him? Was it? I don't want to say King and be wrong, but
Oh, I
he
okay.
came in.
Oh, so I can tell you that Next saw me streaming, and
Or was it you?
yeah, it was me. So it was kind of like a joint vouch because Next was like, I'm gonna judge him, and I was like, I'm like, if you join in this syndicate or faction, you should ask King as well because King is the faction leader for the Mages Conclave, and he wanted to be Gojo. So he saw me streaming, he saw the RuneThorne stuff, and he wanted to join. And that's why Next became the unstoppable force of nature and arrogance of the mage syndicate. He is literally the champion of the mage conclave.
Yeah, he is.
Like at some point I think he became the strongest on the server. Like we never got to fully test that theory because the supposed strongest in the first wave was Perp or Sunburst.
Yeah.
As rebranded. So
Yeah, they were really strong. I think they still had like the most health out of everybody. I think if not next was the one with the most, but they were in competition.
it definitely became next by the end of the lifetime of the server. And that's mainly because of the bugs and the glitches. We'll get to the bugs and some of the bad stuff.
So many bugs and glitches.
While we're here, I don't want to shade or do anything like too much, but shout out to whoever made the D&D class mod. We'll talk about
that's
that
a
more.
controversial one.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that in a bit because this is. I feel like. Hold on, let me actually add this to the fall section of RuneThorne, and it's
The fall of RuneThorne.
D&D class mod. Yes. Yeah, and also high radioactive. We're talking about RuneThorne. Hello. So let me keep the ball rolling a little bit because I feel like I've met way too many like a lot of walks of life of people, and the one thing I will say is that the server itself, because we have next we have AB and her very comical timing. Like I should not be cracking up every time I think back to all the things that AB did, but
the hijinks.
the hijinks, the pumpkin. By the way, we'll talk about the pumpkin as well. Give me a moment. We'll get to the pumpkin. The pumpkining.
Pumpkin is a big one, yeah.
Yeah, the pumpkin's a big thing.
We never did solve that, did we? Or did it get
solved? It didn't get resolved until like the end of the server. Because when the announcement was made, and we'll get into a second, the pumpkiner revealed themselves.
The pumpkiner revealed themselves?
Yeah. So we'll get into that in a second.
Okay, good.
But we have AB. We have I want to say Sisyphus. We have Rika. We had Cham. Cham was a very pinnacle one because she was the dedicated racist to the law of the world.
Dedicated racist. Yeah, just do resident, like xenophobia.
Yeah, resident xenophobia between the factions, and that's the other thing too. Like in terms of the overall world building, I feel like so far there were a lot of people that had lore set up, especially for the stream. I'm not going to talk about myself and the whole Ernin Dirac character. That was an effort by my part, and I feel like while I did as much as I can, I felt like it's going to be a little incomplete. And probably in the second run of the server, like the second season 2, I'm probably just gonna have to. He's probably gonna be rusted somewhere, and that's gonna be his story reawakening or something. I want my tree back, by the way.
that is valid. You put a lot of work into that tree.
Yeah. Navita is also like I think the first event that we did on this server. The first event was the the dungeon, the water dungeon.
Oh yeah.
It's Knowles. Hey, Knowles is
Hello.
here. No, Knowles, Knowles, I'll grab you by the neck and yank you in here if you want. But
Yes, he's the storyteller.
he's
He's
the
the writer.
storyteller, so yeah, he should be here.
He
Um,
should be. He should be here.
yeah, but since we're on the topic of like my tree, I want to say something. There were builders. There were people who were building, and then there were builders. And they were builders in two
Yeah.
senses. There were builders for people who were building physical structures on the server. We're not gonna talk about the spire that Next built yet.
That's a whole thing in itself.
The spire is a whole thing. And
And its basement.
the spire and its underground labyrinth. It's
Don't
that's
unlock the crossroads, bro.
yeah, it is a topic. It is a topic of all time. And that's the thing about everything. But but like everybody had a very unique sense of building. How do I describe it? So we have the ironclad village that was starting to get built up, and at some point AB built a coliseum that was coming on to the second after the second wave and coming on to the end of the life. We had but AB's tavern, especially the renovated one that she did, was really impressive. We have Thea and her I don't know, I'm not too sure if you remember it, but she had the Stardew drop in like a little like cove area. And then the
Oh yeah.
Sky Fortress and the little Cloud Haven.
It was so cute.
It was so cute and it's unique. We have Nex with his, labyrinthian structures, fortress, the spire from taken straight out of Fable 2.
Yeah.
We have my tree.
The tree.
My
We love the
tree.
tree.
The tree was so cozy for me, and I'm sad that I'll never probably finish up on the little personal project, including like the underground brewery and tap section. That was a whole thing, by the way. It would probably not have been finished. Maybe in the second generation, I said, well, I'll do it.
Yeah, Fancy had a really nice house as well.
Fancy has a very, very D&D wizard house. This is what King wished his house was.
Oh my gosh.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You know, I guess he was just going for a more rustic vibe. It's a little bit more down to show his his people that he's a chill ruler, Although half of his conclave was homeless, but that's okay.
Who else? Oh, speaking of the wizard stuff, Jumni's Grove.
Oh yeah, the grove.
Jumni was complaining how it was incomplete, but that was the prettiest incomplete nature structure I've seen. My God. So
And Navita's house as well. We were neighbors.
yes.
Stand the farm and everything. I feel like everybody, like, you can kind of see like parts of their personality,
Yeah.
like, shine through in their build. And I think that's so cute.
Exactly. I'm not even gonna talk about Ash's. I feel like Ash has something very intricate and detailed and nice about her design, but that's mainly because her thing was an entire village.
Yeah, she had like a whole estate.
Yeah, that was Scotland. Like mini Scotland. Scotland Yard.
I don't know what Scottish people say.
Scotland forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had. I feel like I'm calling so many names off the top of my head, and then there were the bases the bases surrounding.
Faye and Ray, they had like the very kind of like gothic kind of period kind of base going on. That was cool.
It wasn't complete, but it was still cool. And then we have Katie in the second way. Katie created a really nice base. And like I ended up when the Nether opened up, I waltzed through a portal and ended up in a very creepy ass structure. I thought it was like part of the expansion, and then I saw Katie's vampire coffin. I was like, "Oh, it's Katie. She lives here. Oh,
Really?
we should take pics of everyone's
We
bases.
should.
Yes, we
Guys, we should
should.
make it like a color. Hi Navi, and make like a collage with like emotional music and stuff.
You know when
Guys.
in in graduations they have like these seminars with like all they had like a slideshow with everybody time there, and it's like a sad music.
Yeah.
They're gonna play "See You Again" right over all these slideshows.
We will play like Vitamin C song. As we go on, we remember.
Oh, please don't, please don't, please. Oh, I've never wanted the podcast as soon as it started to start ending. Um, so let's see. We had, but we so far when we talk about the physical structures, we have so many people who had detailed lore in the server. Like it started off on very unique storytelling styles as well. Like they'd add on character lore. I think right now Kit probably has the most lore because they post about it regularly. But
Yeah, they put a lot of effort into their character and their storytelling, and I
yeah,
have so much respect for that.
yeah, and the B. Um, uh, let's see. Um, I'm not going to talk too much about my character lore. I feel like I'll have to do one last post mortem, but you've already seen my obsidian vault. I've shown you my obsidian vault. Please respond. Um,
I've shown you my vault. Hello.
yeah, and I feel like at this point, Navita has a lot of good lore too. I feel like I was helping her rework so much. Um, oh, there was ads. There was an ad break. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You can't control it.
Yeah, no, I really can't control it at all. Twitch and the dang ad breaks. So
You hate ads.
yeah, once we go back, we had so many characters with like intense character, with like really good character lore and development. And over the time of the server, we had things that were a little bare bones that got a little bit more fleshed out. I feel like overall, as part of how do I want to word it? In terms of the people with the most overall the most lore and most comprehensible lore as well. I feel like the forest one have the most comprehensible one and the most detailed, which is crazy because firstborn, and they're also the ones without the first written language structure, and then they guess what? They're also the ones with the most lore in their own personal lore. So, but the
I
world,
mean, we started off as the biggest faction, so I think that kind of had an advantage because everybody's kind of able to give their input, and Navita had a lot of really valuable ideas. She's coming up with a lot of stuff. Sometimes I was drawing blanks, and she's like, "Oh, what about this and that?" And I'm like, "You are so smart."
I feel like every time I look back at my Obsidian Vault, I look back at the suggestions and some of this stuff. Yeah, Navita, you did a really good job. We need to hire Navita as a writer and me.
I think so. We put you in the writers' room for season 2.
Oh my god. Cause yeah, I feel like sorry, I just took a sip of the chocolate and it just like my brain fizzled out a little
The
bit.
last go.
Yeah, the last was hitting. The last was hitting. Um but we had so many good talented people. Let me actually quickly pull up something. Let me pull up my character lore. Let me pull up, well, not my character lore, because Thea updated her lore recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Navita as her lore, and it's also one where I was workshopping it with Navita. Um, Navita, that's how we came across with like, oh, despite Navita being 800 years old, I was like, well, let's do some math. She's like the last gen
Love
of
gold
the
math.
first gen. Do some math. And let's say, oh, we landed on 35 because 1 year in forest-born year. To be 1 year as a forest-born is actually to be 40 years as a regular other like human species or something. So,
Mm-hmm.
and we came up with so many ideas during that
Yeah, and then
workshopping process.
time dilation stuff and all that.
Yeah. And I feel like in terms of lore, I'm gonna talk about the second runner up for like best better lore. And the second
Mhm.
runner up in terms of a faction would be the Ironclad. And that's because they already
Yeah,
had
definitely.
some pre-established ones. Yeah.
I think Ironclad maybe had the most goobers. I feel like they were always up to something.
Yeah, scheming.
Yeah, scheming.
Uh
It's a shame we never got to overthrow them.
it's a shame they never got to do anything.
Oh,
No, we started off. So I was talking about this with Navita. By the way, Navita, feel free to jump into this call at any point in time. By the way, but if we never got to see Afia burn down a forest, I feel like that's a good thing, considering that Afia at
I
the same time was getting like handed to left, right, and center. Like
everybody was just preying on my character's downfall. I feel like it.
Afia, I feel like one time you sneezed your own fire and then you killed yourself. You downed yourself. I I came up with. I had a book by the way for you. You might as well
You had a
get
book for
that.
me?
Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, you with literally all maxed out, all high level spells.
Maybe it's for the best I didn't get my hands on that. Bad things might have happened.
I mean, bad things would have happened, but at the same time, it's not like you'd probably have the potential to use it. So I'll probably when the server gets back up for the last week of the server
Hmm.
being online, I'll just give it to you to like
Okay.
wrap up stuff, and I'm going to have to come up with story reasons, and I'm like I'm feeling the world, I'm feeling my light from the world fading. Um, I think the nicest thing that I came up in terms of character lore for me, and I guess in terms of world lore, was the last suggestion I gave to you was the gods of the world, they commune through people and call it the song. So same way
Yeah.
how you have keepers of rhythm, the keepers of rhythm will commune through song. So the gods, all every time, the only way to understand it is if you're able to hear the song.
Yeah.
It's
It's actually a spoiler. Season 2 of RuneThorne is it's gonna be a musical. So I hope you guys start practicing from now.
yes. Let me start practicing and by listening to Epic the musical. Um,
I need to listen to that because I actually never seen it.
you should. It's really good. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. As a person
I
who,
believe you.
yeah, yeah, I still think about all I hear is screams.
See, guys knocking on. He's warming up his vocal cords. He's preparing.
I'm good. The first time that we did the whole roleplay thing, I was actually walking by and I was singing like sea shanties of like popular pop songs. So like and I think AB and the others heard me because I was walking through I passed the tavern on the way to town. And it was like carry my, no one can see my poker
Poker
face. Yeah.
face.
So that's how, because at the end of the day, I'm a wanderer, so I don't really have anything at that point. Let me. I feel like we've talked about lore and world building, and somehow we ended up on poker face. So let me get us back on topic for a
Yeah.
second. So, speaking of AB, the events we had kind of briefly touched on it. I think the first event that we had was the water dungeon, where everyone
Yeah.
server wide went to fight the thing in the water dungeon.
That was fun. I remember I was a bit frustrated on my end because that's when I was having a lot of technical issues. So it was very much in and out. But it was also very chaotic because that was like the first time we had most like everybody in like one area, everybody like all casting spells and fighting. And I was like, oh, some of these are like they will attack anybody. nearby.
Yeah. The digital ley lines weren't working. Mood.
Maybe they were weak.
The flow wasn't flowing either, so like I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah, but you know what was working?
Fucking now. Yeah.
The black holes.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was gonna say the up there, but I was gonna be like the black holes. Yeah, the black holes were a problem, but it wasn't a problem for too long, except for the one part where everybody kept dying, and because the spawn was right in the boss arena, they kept dying, getting sucked in before they could collect their gear, and just keep dying, rinse and repeat. You know?
Yeah, it was bad.
Ah, like but it was probably one of the finest collaborations. It was a good way for people to know each other. I think in
Yeah.
the first instance of the server as well, this was like a mini event, but the Ironclad Village, one of the earliest memories I had was the Ironclad Village getting attacked. The AB
Memories.
started a raid accidentally in the Ironclad Village.
Oh.
Yeah. So I had to boat as fast as I could over to the Ironclad village because I didn't have a waystone and stop the raid from happening. I had to defend it with like Bree at the time. And one other person I can't remember, probably Paul. Um and the other it's so interesting to think about. Because the armor sets, and we're going to talk about mods and stuff a little later down, but
Mhm.
I cannot tell you how many times I've accidentally caused a raid there. I feel like the
Oh,
Ironclad
really?
village is just prone to being raided, to getting raids.
It's not a very central spot, so I feel like it's easy to pass through. And if you
Yeah,
have that, it's like, yeah, it's gonna happen.
because of that, we also lost mending villages, like villages that would sell stuff like at Shoppies.
Oh no, there were losses.
Yeah, there were losses, grave losses. And the worst part about grave losses is that nobody even knew that they died because of how young the
Oh.
silver was at the time. And then I think it's at some point you or King or someone else was like, "Hey, we have no. Where is the mending villager? We had a mending villager here. Where did he go?" And then you found
They're
out they died in
gone.
the raid. Rip
Okay,
the
it wasn't
mending
based on
villager.
family.
Yes.
Oh no.
Rest in peace to my mending villager. They got hit by a bazooka.
Yeah, I think about them every time I accidentally started reading the Ironclad Village. Kaboom.
Yeah. It's insane to think about, but we actually had a few events, like multiple times. We had a few events. I feel like, and we were trying to organize having more events where people can join in and collaborate, but I think it never happened. A lot of it never happened. I think the last event was opening up the nether or
It
fighting
was,
or the
yeah.
well. Yeah.
It was the well, and then we opened up the nether right after.
Yeah. The well was supposed to be a bigger event, but it just happened. Um
I feel like when
ah
we didn't quite know what to do with any events, we're like, we'll just like spawn something and let everybody fight it. That's
yeah.
what our default go to.
But we also had a fair share of like the fun events. Like I wanna
The quiz at the tavern.
the quiz at the tavern was a really fun one. Um
I love the tavern quiz.
yeah. Ah, Minecraft trivia. I feel like if I was to do a quiz again, I would want it to be about the mod knowledge that people have, because that was one of the
Ooh,
few things that I think was missed opportunity. There was the jam hunt was another one.
the jam hunt.
The jam hunt. Um, I wasn't there for this one, but the debate for the Ironclad.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm glad you did. That was a fun one. And then the
uh,
village also got attacked then.
yeah, and I think the very critical one, the Spring Festival, the Forest-born Spring
Yeah.
Festival. There was so much food I made. There was so much
You made
food.
We had a whole banquet. It was so nice, and I feel like we were like leading up to that for a long time. So to finally pull it off is really fun.
Yeah.
My one regret is that Navita couldn't be there for it. That's so
Hmm.
sad.
The timing for Navita was just unfortunate. And
Yeah.
Navita puts all this effort into trying to organize it, and then she has to suffer as a result. Unfortunate.
You know what they say, coaches don't play.
Yeah. Coaches don't play. Don't do that. I'm sorry. I had to take one for the team. I had to go. We
She
had,
guides others to a treasure that she cannot possess.
yeah. Happiness, joy, seeing, old traditions be relived, stuff like
Hmm.
that. Typical things that happen. It's kind of like when you graduate from a school, and when you come back, the thing you were begging for is finally there.
Literally. And it's like, so the entire time y'all couldn't make this happen?
Mm,
Feels personal.
mm. Agenda. On top of that, because technically we had the end of events, but um, there are still like really good things. I feel like overall, a few weeks after, yeah,
Oh my
also
gosh.
high, yeah.
Hi.
I found I found a jam jar behind my sky tower. By the way, a few weeks after the events, and it's so funny to think about that as well. But we also have the general good things that also came out of the server as well. Like nothing that can be pinned that I can pin, but um, a lot of the funny moments. One of my favorite funny and key moments for the entirety of the server was when Nex and I found um the carpenter, the monkey that gives you the gauntlet, the Earthrealm gauntlet. And the funniest thing happened. I've passed it. And then like X was like, oh great, I can go and do it now. And like I was turned away looking. And then the monkey ascends after giving me the gauntlet. And
Oh, I remember seeing that clip. He's just
yeah. And I hear that next to but Daku. What? He's
he's
gone.
gone.
And I had
Oh.
to I hit next with a maybe he'll come back. He did not come back.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was very much gone.
oh my god. But it was that. It was the late night session of of everybody meeting in King's Wizard Tower. And then AB is then beginning to pelt brick after brick at King
There
non-stop.
was so many bricks.
It was
I
so many
was shocked.
bricks. The,
Where was
w-
she holding all? Was she keeping all of those?
the funny thing is that there's a resupply mod for yeah, the view has a channel. But there's a resupply back mod for the backpack. And if she had gotten the knowledge, she could have pulled that. She could have just infinitely, every time her stack of bricks ended, just start launching another one. It was so many bricks.
Oh, King would have never been free.
Yeah, honestly, the gag was so good that it's part of my key memories in RuneThorne. Yeah, that my favorite. Do you have any key good memories to also share, by the way? Because don't let me just talk. Like the
I mean, I'm enjoying like listening. I feel like this is your podcast, so I'm letting you take the lead.
oh my god. I mean, you're also my guest, so special guest.
That's true. I feel like it was just like fun. I know like you're on a lot of like the late night talks, and then sometimes I would just like join and listen, and that was nice because I just feel like not really doing anything. Everybody's just kind of hanging out, and usually serve as a medium for that, and it was really nice to see.
Yeah, outside of the late night talks as well, because we're on the same topic. The collaborations that weren't necessarily Minecraft. The backrooms, well, not just RuneThorne Minecraft, the backrooms event
Mhm.
that Next hosted.
Yeah.
That It was terrifying. The Lethal Company, the Gods, the Mind
Yes, the
Prophet,
Lethal Company.
um,
The company.
a
We
few
did the bingo as well.
the bingo, yeah, and I feel like that the server, Nova was supposed to do a D&D thing, but never got to. Um,
Unfortunately, yeah.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, D&D campaign is always a hard thing to plan, especially if you have to
Yeah.
think about original content ideas. So it is one of those things. I'll probably do a D&D campaign in the future, and I have a special book that I'm trying to test as well, and a special subclass I need to test as well. But that's a topic for another day. Um,
Oh.
yeah, it is. We might go over the hour by the way, but it's fine. It's fine. We're having fun in this company.
Yeah, of course. We have fun here. We have fun
We
here.
have fun here. Because I'm not. We haven't even gone to the second act of this conversation.
We have a
Um,
second act.
yeah, the
The
fall of
fall of
RuneThorne. But let me wrap up on the really good things. The really good things. I feel like the start of RuneThorne with the new players were probably some of the most refreshing experiences that I've had,
Yeah.
and meeting a lot of the international player base as well. Um, it is one of those things that I feel like a lot of people can hold fondly. The mods, iron spells, beautiful.
Love that mod. It's so fun.
As I'm
And I think
going,
some add-ons we didn't get to include because like they weren't meshing with the rest of the pack.
yeah. What was the add-ons? What were the add-ons? You see, this is why I need next year, because next would just pull up would say, I didn't get my thing.
I think there's some that added like extra spells. So like with the same like schools of like magic the mod came with, there's like extra fire spells, extra ice, da 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 da.
Yeah. Um, RPG series mods were nice, but I feel like the druid stuff was underwhelming. Because I think
Yeah,
nobody did any of the druid stuff. Um,
I don't think so.
I had the warriors little book and stuff, and that was fun. That was fantastic. Some of these spell scrolls, like the invisibility, the throwing, you be able to throw your weapon. Um, they had a little bit of duplication and cross meshing, which kind of just interfered with things. Um,
Yeah, lots of overlap between certain stuff. That was mostly I think to supplement the lack of like rogue things.
yeah. So it was one of those things. It was definitely the thing that I remember fondly. Farmer's Delight. I'm playing with
That
iron,
was your favorite, I think.
playing with iron spells with some of my friends, and we have small add-ons with other mods like Cataclysm, etc. Yeah, I feel like, how do I describe it? Iron spells was like, it feels so like integral to the RuneThorne experience.
Yeah, I think having like more like meshing of that with the other mods would have made far more seamless experience.
Yeah,
It's just getting thing. It's just like when you have a big mod pack. I'm not super experienced like building mod packs, especially for multiplayer, because I like make a mod pack to play by myself. Because then you have to think, okay, something that might work in single player does not work with other people, and it's like
yeah,
so that's a little
no,
frustrating.
it was. The Waystones mod was definitely one of those things that also mesh really well with iron spells.
I
Um,
love waystones.
Waystones is so nice. Um, what else? What else? What else? Farmer's Delight. Farmers. I know, like there was a conflict of interest because some people would be like, "Why do Farmer's Delight? Why not do Let's Do series? Like let's do cooking, let's do this, let's do that." I got to try out Let's Do Cooking for a little bit. It's both are really good, and I wish both could work, but I know for a fact that it couldn't. We did try to doing the different add-ons, and it kind of just made the server blow up. So we said, "Yeah, never mind."
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I've heard good things
interesting.
about Let's Do mods, but I've also heard that sometimes they're a little broken and such. So I think Farmers Delight was like the safe choice.
Yeah, The Farmer's Delight was a good choice. Um, Navita finally got her botany pots.
Yippee!
Um, I know Navita wanted that for like days on end. So, it's 100%. Yeah, we love botany pots. I'm not gonna lie, Navita, I didn't know about botany pots. I didn't know about this ball. So, yeah. The handcrafted mod, probably one of my favorite decoration mods.
Really?
Yeah, it is. It probably is. The funny thing about handcrafted is that now that I've played handcrafted and I've seen the recent update for Minecraft, what's handcrafted gonna do about the cushions they have?
Ooh, I didn't think of that actually.
Yeah, it's interesting because cushions are now in base Minecraft, and handcrafted had been doing the cushion thing for a while, like as pillows and stuff. And you can do they perform the same function, but the base Minecraft ones are apparently performing better.
Oh.
Yeah, because you can place it on any flat surface, regardless of
Oh yeah.
height.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do if they. I doubt they'll just remove it. So I guess they'll have to coexist somehow.
Yeah, I want to see how they would coexist. But Handcrafted was one of the delightful mods that I enjoy thoroughly. Farmer's Delight, I'm skirting over it, but I'm gonna say this: without Farmer's Delight, I would have probably not been as engaged in cooking on the Minecraft server, and my interest would have dwindled a lot faster.
That's understandable. I feel like that became your thing. You were like the chef on the server, and I think having Farmers Delight definitely gave you something, like gave you a hobby.
Yeah, especially as a warforged who doesn't need to eat. Yeah.
Just cooking for everybody else.
It was because of me, Mr. Krabs. I put my Farmer's Delight into the bot pack. Me! Yeah. So I feel like it was like a really good result. What else am I missing? Cataclysm in terms of combat. Cataclysm was great. I love the biomes. The biomes are very beautiful. Biomes are plenty. There was some conflict with some of the mods and like the decoration mods, of course, but I feel like can't stop that. You were saying?
Yeah, sometimes I was just saying, I know like some mods had like conflicting crafting recipes. So it's like these different things using the same recipe, and so some people ran into trouble with that. There's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. So also outbreak is coming up soon. So as soon as the outbreak is over, I'll switch to the next thing. But we have a little bit of time.
Okay.
But there was the mods and stuff. What else? There were cute things. There were cute things that were there, and I don't remember them too much now. But
Yeah, we have a lot of like small little mods that
yeah,
were just nice to have in themselves.
yeah. So like sophisticated backpacks, sophisticated storage, and
I feel like Minecraft is
supplementaries.
unplayable without backpacks. I just feel like when you have a lot of mods, especially because you want to explore, you want to pick up all the things. How am I supposed to hold the things if I don't have anything to hold them with?
Exactly, and especially since we didn't have access to mod made me lose hair follicles mood though. But sophisticated storage
So sorry, Timmy.
was also super nice. And I want to also give a big shout out to Timino King because he put up with a lot of shit that a
The
lot of
biggest shout out to Timmy.
yeah, he put up with a lot of shit while that a lot of the player base were doing at the time of the server, and it was ripping his hair out, and at the same time it's leaking a 9 to 5 job. So
Yeah. So
big
Timmy was holding it down. Oh my god.
yeah, Timmy is as essential to the Minecraft server as Goku is to Strive. If you dig past all the code, you're going to see him holding everything together with chains.
RuneThorne would not exist without Timmy.
Yeah, so it's literally shout out to Tibby. Let me give him an actual shout out in the chat. So yes,
Yeah.
remember to follow Tibby and all that stuff.
Please do.
But we're going to outbreak it like about like about like say 45 seconds. So I feel like we've covered like most of the good stuff for the server, and like I feel like it's kind of like true that it was probably one of the more unique and the better like overall experiences for people to meet new people and like get out of their comfort zone. So I feel like when we come back from the outbreak in a little bit, we will actually talk a little bit more about the fall of it, what didn't work,
Bad.
the things that
Oh.
were frustrating, and the fucking mods, and not to mention the pumpkining. So
A very
in 5 seconds
mod.
we'll be right back. So stay here, stay with us, I beg.
Don't go anywhere. This is so professional. You have like timed ad breaks and segments and like arcs. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, welcome to my look at a special sneak peek of my life and the past 5 years I spent in Kostat studying journalism and stuff. I should probably do
Gonna come
regular
in very handy.
yeah, I should probably do regular special segments. And also thank you Timmy for the sub. Yeah. Stop with Prime.
Which
Yahoo!
Prime guy? So you're not watching the ad.
Yeah, we go. It's fine. It's fine. It's for the rest of the people. The rest of the people have to look through the ads, and like the AI generated football ads for World Cup.
AI generated football ads. You've been seeing those?
You haven't? The one with Bungie, I think, and Destra. Not Destra. This other lady. Um, the
Freyan?
yeah.
Lady Lava?
I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't really pay too much attention to the ads and people, but I do know for one thing for sure that they're horrible. I hate it. It's so AI
Oh.
generated. It's so sloppy. It's so sloppy and not in a good way.
Listen, we could have a whole nother podcast session about those like AI generated flyers because I have some very strong opinions about those.
Definitely, that will be a whole podcast session, and I will bring people in for that. And the
I think Knowles has
outbreak
some strong opinions too on that.
and the outbreak is over. Welcome back from the ads. Yes, Thea, we'll
Hi,
count you
everybody.
in for the to the other stuff. Let's see. All right, so we've covered the good stuff for RuneThorne. You probably heard my cup slamming on on the table. But let's talk. Let's get to the serious time. The fall of RuneThorne. Their magic is gone. The gods are no longer present, and we have only step 1 foot closer, but we are still 70 steps away from getting to where we wanted to be. And this is kind of why I wish Knowles was here. I wish Knowles was here. Call Knowles in. Because I feel like there's
Oh my
story.
gosh.
Oh
You
my
did
god.
it.
Hey.
Navidan, you did it.
They look nice.
It did work.
Nice. But we're here. We're here for it. So let me get to the point. I feel like while RuneThorne was going on for a while, I feel like a lot of people have some story questions. Because the story was a little, how do I call it? Oh, sorry, you and Nose now sharing a square. I can't do anything about that. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. So a lot of the time in RuneThorne that was going on, there was like a story, there was world building that was going on. But at the start of RuneThorne, it felt like there wasn't a lot of information people could have had regarding the conflicts and so on and so forth. I feel like how many times have you heard people come across and say, "Hey, what happened here? What's this? What's that? What's more story?" and so on and so forth. I want to know how far ahead did you plan for RuneThorne in that case?
Like lore wise, it was supposed what I wrote at the beginning was supposed to just be I guess overarching plot, like just a little background on what the world is. I never really intended for besides like major events, and every time people to like delve that deeply into it, like people will build their lore and stuff around it. But like to go so it's like yeah, this is stuff that happened in the past, and I expected people to like focus more like their stories and what coming next and stuff like that.
Interesting. Let me also really quickly pull back up my notes and take another sip of my Lasco coffee. The hot chocolate. I'm so used to drinking coffee at this. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Force a habit. He can't help it, guys.
My life is a wreck.
Oh no! Don't
My
say
life,
that.
my life is a shipwreck, and you're all on the oceans with me.
Who's steering the ship?
Oh my god. So, excuse me. I feel like so far, in terms of if I'm covering things in terms of the overall story, because I like where the story starting off. There was enough information for people to at least build out the story. But I feel like as time was going on, I feel like, especially since the server's going down, I feel like we were missing out on one or two, on like a few important story beats for people's resolution. I don't know if you've planned that far ahead. If you want to answer that question.
No.
Nah, so it was entirely a build as you go kind of thing.
Yeah, a lot of this, like, if you looked at somebody updates, a lot of it revolved around what was like currently happening.
Yeah.
Like in the world building updates, a lot of it was basically just like updates for people who miss stuff, and then like there would be other updates when some other stuff would be built, like the eye and stuff that came around. I'd put an update in there.
Yeah. So let me also I'm going to switch off of this Discord tab and people are going to see a little bit of the world building stuff. Let me tell you guys, let me show you all of this. The world of RuneThorne.
He was writing.
There was a lot of writing on the wall. I feel so far in terms of everything, there was a plan for the world building. Because look at this. We have a very detailed we have like enough detail to at least say this is how the world was established or formed. We have a lot of detail for the fractured town and civilization as well. Let's see. We have the Forest-born faction. We have the Mages conflict. I feel like there's probably a few things that I'm missing out beats on. Definitely the fall of the Iron Clan, and we have the timeline. And as someone who is writing their lore heavily based off of everything here, I feel like Knowles, you did a really good job. So
He did a really good job.
yeah, so it gave enough for people who wanted to establish their lore within the context of the world. It gave enough for people to be like, this is what we can do here. This is what is, developed. In terms of humanity being around, by the way, I feel like the fact that the humanity in RuneThorne developed incredibly fast within a space of over 100 years is one of the most spectacular achievements, because then we have the Forestborn who developed super slowly from
Whoa.
no, think about it from years 100 to 320. The Forestborn were now getting their legs, and most of it, this is not me trying to throw shade, by the way. If you think about it, they were starting to get their legs. And then, at some point around the year 300, most of the first Forestborn were teens. Essentially the equivalent of teens, if you want to say about it. and they started to, and most of the time, they were following around the gods before the gods disappeared. And by the time the gods disappeared, they were in mostly their young adult and adult eras. I feel like if you sit down as much as I have for this lore, you realize something. This is, well, it is a little bare bones, and like no shade, no offense anyway. I'm just saying. But it is a little bare bones. It's enough for a lot of people to work on and like add their additions and fit themselves into the world, especially with the first wave of people that came through. Because the first wave of everyone in RuneThorne feels like they're here, they're existing, they are part of the world and very integral to how the world's dynamics are. Look at
That was kind of the intention. Oh, sorry.
yeah, that's the intention. That's the intention. Like you said that yourself, right? Earlier.
We didn't want to do like too much to where it felt like there was like an overload of information, or that you had to be like really strict so you could like fit your character into the parameters.
Yeah,
But
I think we didn't want to like restrict people to like this is how it should be, this is what you have to do, that kind of thing.
so
Yeah.
we just kind of gave like a base or a structure.
Oh, my music stopped. Damn. I was wondering for a second why everything sounded so intense.
Why everything got so quiet.
Yeah. Let me pull up more music, but it is, and hello Oxalto. We're talking about RuneThorne here. We on part 2. So
The full
there is enough for people to work on, and when people were adding more to the story, like take Navita for example. Navita was adding like little extra bits about building the faction and building out the history of the factions as well. I feel like I probably sent some stuff in relation to the Ironclad. I had a lot of things related to that, the life before, because there isn't a lot of recorded history about that. But if we're talking about the other factions, because the only other two factions that we have that I feel like doesn't have a lot of recorded lore was the Mage Conclave and the Shadow Syndicate. Intentionally, I guess.
You're right.
Yeah, intentionally, the Shadow Syndicate can be as vague as they want to, because
I was about to say, because it makes sense, you know, like they kind of like the shadowy, kind of like working in the background, and people don't know much about them. But the mages, I think, I probably should have developed a little bit more with them.
they were established. The mages were established from old Ironclad times, and like I guess even Forestborn. And I feel like it would have been that. Well, you know, I'm talking about my opinion. I'm thinking the mages probably could have had a little bit more information about themselves. The Shadow Syndicate. If Shadow Syndicate wants to keep their like history to themselves of the first guy or the first assassin, the first female assassin or something, to like, you know, start the Shadow Syndicate, some kind of like Assassin's Creed thing, absolutely keep that to yourself if you want to. Probably expose it afterwards, because at the end of the day, bound to secrecy. And supposed to be the master manipulators behind the scenes, shaping everything in RuneThorne.
Exactly.
Maybe they were the ones who did the pumpkining. I joke.
It could be, you know.
I joke.
Who did the pumpkining?
I
Like,
really don't know.
We will get to that in like a second. Again, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. We're getting to that.
Can we like guess and then like later it'll be revealed?
Okay, yeah. If you want to do, you can give your guess right now.
I'm going to say Nova.
I'm gonna say that it was Nakudan.
Anyway.
See how he started to laugh? That's very peculiar.
Anyway, getting back to the a little bit more, I want to say, like, I talked about the overall story and stuff, and how some of it was shaping the world, and how I feel like personally I'll probably always be a little bit nitpicky with stories. When because I think like some of it was that I understand the intention that it was supposed to be as bare as possible to allow people to build off of it, but then it felt like people were coming into the server and they didn't really expand or add any rich history to the server or the life of the server, if you get what I mean. Like, how do I put it? When you read, like, despite Nex having little to no lore, Nex probably added the most rich and expansive and questionable history in the server.
Questionable history.
Yeah, he did not come from. He did not come from. He's not part of RuneThorne. He landed here from another dimension, the ether.
Quite literally fell out of the sky.
Yeah, it's a whole different race of Asima. And then you find out that he was banished for horrible experiments. And
yeah, that'll do it.
yeah, and then he comes into RuneThorne, we all think, oh, well, he's just a cute little kid. And then later, he starts back up the horrible experiment, which leads to the tower.
Horrors beyond comprehension.
Yeah, you travel through the forest a little bit and you make it to a beach and you just look up and it's this huge tower that goes up for miles.
The monolith.
Yes,
Like,
imposing structure.
The largest structure that we probably have in RuneThorne that was made by a player.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I can tell you that for sure because I think the closest to that was probably Ash. Ash probably had the largest set of structures, but it wasn't the largest structure. I can't even put my tree in there. My tree is nothing in comparison. Even the one that I was planning to build, I don't.
That one was big though.
That one was big, and it was incomplete. And at the same time, I literally had a mental height limit put in place to make sure that nobody exceeds Nex, or we don't try to break the server in terms of landmark structures. I'm going to finish that new tree in the second season, by the way, and you all are going to help me. I'm holding you all, grab you by the neck or the balls. I don't care. I'm going to finish that tree.
Something's getting grabbed.
Yeah, something's getting grabbed. So on that though, the second wave of players, I feel like the most memorable in terms of those is Mishi, and Kit. Mainly because they on the server. Jiggles as well. Jiggles had his whole circus tent. And
Oh yeah. With like this massive like underground thing going on.
yeah. And dark secrets that will never see the light of day.
Will never be revealed.
Hebe and Catalyst were also, well, Hebe and Catalyst, they were very interesting additions because they just they're evil. You know they're evil. You just can't prove it. Dexter style. I'm looking at Hebe.
Try to give them the benefits of the doubt, like.
And then Hebe says, literally in the Spring Forest Festival, "Hey, I don't like how you said that thing to me. Catalyst, kill them." I'm like, if you do that,
kill that guy.
Yeah, I was like, if you do that, I'm gonna shoot. I had to be the one with I'm holding the stick in my hand like a gun, and I'm like, if you do that, I'm gonna shoot. Does it anyways, shoots. And then like I'm the one in trouble because I refused to stand by and let somebody be murdered in broad daylight in front of my face. Okay, I see you, Afia.
What?
I feel like the second wave of players were. I don't know what your general opinion is, but give me your opinions. Give me your opinions.
I think they were lovely, and I think they all came in really excited, like establishing their characters, and a lot of them put a lot of care and thought into their plot and storyline, and it's kind of fun to see like some of these smaller factions get like a boost of like activity and energy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the Ironclad Village really started to like come alive after that second wave.
It's crazy that AB and AB Rika and what's the other one name?
Sisyphus.
Yeah, I can't remember the Minecraft name. They basically rebuilt the entirety of the Ironclad
Yeah.
with like in a couple of days.
It was insane. As well as, it's not just that, but AB as well was very integral to the professional outlook of how the Ironclad was looking. Which brings me to the key topic of tonight.
Oh no.
Hold on. Actually, I need to stop this music and I need to bring some detective music in. Give me a second. You'll know why in a second.
Oh, I know exactly why.
Oh my gosh. How do I need to actually type this in?
The biggest mystery of RuneThorne.
Yeah. Yeah, time to do it. We're here. All right. It is time, everyone, to solve something that's been going on for ages in RuneThorne.
Ages.
Ages.
We have been without answers for so long.
Since the arrival of Sisyphus, Carrion in RuneThorne, because they kind of came in a little late. It is time to solve. Actually, let me just go. I'll just go to the thread. Let's go to the thread. It is time. Yeah. We're going straight up to the top. Straight up to the top. The pumpkin incident.
Bum bum bum. Oh my god, this lights roll.
Yes.
I forgot you made it.
The victim, Ironclad. This is the March 24th.
Oh my god, I feel like it really spruced the place up though. Like I was like, I feel like welcome change.
The pumpkins.
The
The pumpkins at some point grew in number, by the way. Look at all this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
They started to expand.
At some point, every corner of the Ironclad had pumpkins. The key suspect, that because he cooks.
Yeah, you would.
He raided my pantries, by the way. He also digs. Look at this. This was originally landmass. I removed that entire mountain, by the way.
You demolished the mountain.
Yeah. Apparently it's because I cook. He's done this just before. And then we have next us. He's done this just before.
His name is Nex.
He's done this just before. It's funny.
High key. The Ironclad had it coming for that.
I mean, that is some pretty damning evidence. I cannot lie.
Oh my god. The pumpkin house.
People need to know. They need to know who did it.
We're going through. We have to take it a little one at a time, Let everybody wet their palate, let the curiosity flow forth.
Of course, no, you're right. It's a process.
There's a process to these things. Pumpkin. Update on the case. We're fucked. A single pumpkin in somebody's house. I think this was Jiggles' house.
Yeah, I think that's his circumstance.
I know it's you. They were gonna try and jump me. Shot logs. Next. Oh yeah, at some point Knowles was a suspect. We have Ray and then we have Faye. And then I'm gonna do the big reveal now.
Okay, alright.
So after all this time, the actual person, the key person to do the pumpkining in the Ironclad was
Drum roll.
Stealthy Bree, otherwise known as
What?
Scales. And here's the confession. I'll say it here, though I said it in general, but I did the pumpkining.
Oh my gosh, I feel like we need to interview Brie. We need to find out what was their motivation. Why did they do it? What was their gripe with the ironclad?
So I'll give you the detail there are. I'll also give you a few bits of pieces along the way. So it was elementary. You see, Carrion Hayden, the leader of the Ironclad, was one day venturing with Scales in the ancient underworld city. They met up and they agreed to collaborate together, but after Carrion had summoned the warden, he had then left her for dead in that same ancient city. She escaped, but with a vengeance plan. She couldn't cause actual harm to the Ironclad, but would cause harm to their reputation and to their base.
The aesthetics.
Yes. She
I remember
knew.
hearing that story.
Well, Scales knew they would have. Give me a second. I'm actually I'm trying my best here. Scales knew that the Ironclad were preparing for new recruits and couldn't let the reputation and the nature of the Ironclad leader, trickle down into the infantry. So she did what she needed to do. She placed pumpkins all over the Ironclad base and would plan to expand. It only meant to be a simple jest, but it grew when AB caught wind of this little jest, this little thing of hers. Things hit the wall. Names were called. The Ironclad went into disarray. Fingers were pointed in all directions. I think even at leaders of different conclaves and different factions. Corpse and King. And AB just placing a sticky note on his bag saying, "You're suspicious because you have pumpkin in house."
I mean, that's a good reason.
Mm-hmm. And it was really funny actually. Like, at some point,
got one too.
yes, the Vita got pointed to too because she's also growing pumpkins in her farm. At some point, though, actually, let me snooze this out because it's going out too good right now. We can't have this. However, at some point, what was intended to be a simple plan turned into a revenge scheme, where she had calculated, the exact timing needed to place down pumpkins inconspicuously. I think at some point she also placed down pumpkins and played inside, and people didn't actually notice it.
Oh.
Yeah. I think during the events, so many times when everybody wasn't switching a certain location, like the jam event, she would just come and casually put down pumpkins in the Ironclad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What a smooth criminal.
Yeah. And at some point, before the server went down, fingers were pointed. After all, the only people to be inside the Ironclad base were the Ironclad. And the only other person online at the time was Carrion. Could this have been a carefully sewed plot by him to increase the number of recruits to the Ironclad?
Bum bum bum.
The thoughts were spread. Fingers were pointed, books were slammed, pumpkins were thrown.
Gavels were slammed. Bam bam bam.
And at the end of the day, Scales herself just sat back and watched the chaos unfold.
Watch the world burn around her.
Yeah. They maybe nearly caught up to her when a gift was left and the gift belonged to her. It was left for Carrion. But AB somehow put the brain cells connected. They rubbed against each other, and she mined the present and it saw that it was placed by Scales. The evidence would have led to her sooner. If only AB had rubbed the brain cells a little harder. So, ultimately, in the end, she got off scot-free.
I think that was a very well executed crime. I think we could all learn a
I,
lot from
I
that.
would never suspected. Free.
Faye!
Yeah, I wouldn't have
Faye, you
either.
only want added how the pub gets to her roof! Damn, this is a multi-effort thing. Jesus Christ.
There's layers to this.
Also, one little
We
bit
just
of
responded in the thread.
yeah, key witness up on the stand, Faye. But at the same time, I'll give you an extra confession. I low-key kind of encourage Scales because she's also a fellow nomad, and I don't like the fact that the factions were trying to slight us. So I gave her I kind of gave her the suggestion. And also, really funnily enough, the pumpkin house wasn't her. It was me. I speed built that shit.
So this seems like it was multiple people contributing to this pumpkin madness.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But
Tisk.
it was a planned effort. It was originally meant to be a funny little gag, and then it blew way out of proportion, and people's lives were on the line, so we had to like calm it down.
People's lives were on the line.
Lives were
It was
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah. So that was the entirety of the pumpkin case. Let me swap back this music to, but now that we know, let me swap this music over, so at least everything could be a little less intense. The second wave. Oh boy, I mean, we covered a lot tonight, and I'm not entirely done yet. So, so back to a little bit of the fall. I'm gonna talk about your favorite topic, the mods, the horrible mods, specifically one Dungeons,
D&D
Classes, and
mod.
Dragons.
Yeah, that I have some strong feelings and opinions about that mod.
I have a strong feeling about it, and I can be summarized in one sentence, one short sentence. It fucking sucked.
You're right. I'm not gonna disagree with you. The mod was, we're not just like dunking on the mod creators, because the mod was indeed so bad that the creators of the mod abandoned it and were like, we're gonna make a whole new one. Like, what?
Yeah, it was conflicting so poorly with the overall Minecraft server that certain things weren't functional. So when you were starting off in the mod, you were supposed to get your class was supposed to get like armor and weapons, like right off the bat. Certain things that couldn't be crafted were only obtainable via selecting that class, and because the mod is being weird, the bards weren't able to get their special weapons, and those weapons in testing are very busted. Another thing, the major section of the mod pack, and I think everybody can agree with me when I say this, the magicians should not be that tanky. They had nothing else in their class features. Nothing. And you know what they're doing? Just squaring up with God and casually taking all the hits.
Normal stuff.
Normal stuff. Things that don't make sense in D&D make sense in this mod pack.
Of course.
I was the most fragile paladin you could ever meet.
Oh gosh.
Did I tell you on day one, I dropped, so I took enough fall damage from simply walking down the stairs that I went incapped?
From walking down the stairs.
I know I'm supposed to be an old warforged, but this was ridiculous.
I don't think you're supposed to be that delicate.
I'm not. That's
Oh,
why I was
dear.
making jokes. I was like, "Oh, guys, I'm sorry, I can't move as fast. My kneecaps my knees literally fell apart. I need to buy new knees."
You need to buy new knees. You need to like build a new pair of them.
Why do you think I was ecstatic for the nether opening up? I could finally upgrade my knees to netherite, and I'll never have to deal with fall damage again.
Oh yeah.
It's like the Lego sound. Like every time a character gets defeated, he hear the and he
I
like,
just stopped falling apart.
yeah.
That was just you walking down the stairs.
I had to do an intense training arc. In fact, I'm probably the highest level person on the server in that D&D mod because I needed to be at least capable of being up to par with everybody else, and I wouldn't fall apart at somebody just looking at me cross-eyed.
Somebody looking at you cross-eyed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We didn't know how it was a last-minute addition to the mod pack, and we didn't realize the extent of how it would affect gameplay. And by the time we realized how problematic the mod was, it became load-bearing, and
It just intertwined itself with every other mod.
yeah, so we realized we couldn't remove it without probably breaking something catastrophically. So it just had to stay, unfortunately.
You can hear the sigh of frustration from me having to think about that mod pack. And we haven't even gotten. There was an ad break running, by the way, in between this time, but it's fine. There was an ad running apparently all the time where you're talking about the frustrating efforts of the D&D class mod. But that's fine. Because the less people have to think about this frustrating mod and have to hear the frustration, the better. So, the fucking mushroom caps.
The red cups.
The red caps.
Yeah. Just blew up the server.
Oh god.
The red caps and breaking the server is one of the few things I think is really horrible. There was a funny moment with one of these sophisticated storage mods where Mishi decided she was going to fill up a chest, a really advanced, sophisticated chest, with a bunch of cobblestone, mine cobblestone, and then just throw it into a lava source. And didn't know that could break the server. I think about that from time to time because I told Nex, I was like, if push comes to shove and somebody crosses me too bad, I'm going to nuke the server. And I told him the exact method, which is through sophisticated storage and just breaking a chest full of a bunch of items and stacked items.
Oh.
Yeah. So the main reason why is because the logic of sophisticated storage is kind of also the same logic that griefers would use for lag machines.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, when you have multiple things in one location appearing at once, it overloads the server. Yeah, and that's the whole thing with sophisticated storage. You break the chest, and because entity cramming would essentially, sophisticated storage works around entity cramming by having everything be in an inventory a little bit, it would still... Ray, you really coming here to upset my spirit with that date stuff. This is part of the fall section, by the way. So yeah, this absolutely belongs in a negative of RuneThorne. Ray and her dirt addiction on everything.
Sometimes people, they just can't help it.
Seven, Ray, both all is the same person at this point.
Ray also fell into the void.
Yeah, did you not see the clip from the channel with Ray just falling into the void and saying, "This is it,
Yeah,
this is
I've
my
seen it.
backstory." Ah!
I love that clip.
Oh my god. So there was that. Um, I feel like the mods that were selected early on really and truly helped, but I feel like if going forward, because one of the other things too was I do like the Eldritch mod, just setting the Eldritch expansion.
Yeah.
The Vita recommended a really good one recently. That's also expansion on the combat system for iron spells. But I feel like the RPG series stuff didn't really have much of an effect or much value overall on the server. I feel simply more like the simply swords mods, the simply bows, and the simply more mods had more impact, and more people were looking to use those as weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What else, Bray? There's also an expansion, Cataclysm into Iron Spells. Yeah, that's the one that I think I was. Yeah, that was the one. And Navito was telling me that they had water schools and stuff, which would have been perfect for Mishi.
Oh yeah, that would have been so nice. I think, because I remember we said earlier that there was one of them we had looked into. I don't know if that was one of them, but we just could not get it to work because we wanted to add more spells for everybody.
I'm gonna say one thing that I think everybody can agree with here. At least I'm hoping most people agree with. I hate Neoforge and I hate Forge. Neoforge a lot less because Neoforge is
Everybody
a
hates Forge.
yeah. Everybody hates Forge. Forge is one of the worst mod loaders that I can I've ever encountered, and that's because it takes up so much of your computer RAM and your computer like operating that it's just impossible to run it like comfortably. Fabric for the win, yes.
See, the problem is we wanted to recreate the mod pack in Fabric, but unfortunately, like the main mod in the pack, Iron Spells, I don't know if it's on Fabric now, but it wasn't on Fabric then,
Yeah,
so we
and
could not switch.
it's probably still not on Fabric, and that's one of the things. That's the sad thing about it because I can tell you one thing comfortably: the mod 7 would never felt the same without the Iron Spell stuff, which is good. It's astounding.
Yeah, it's a great mod.
It's a great mod, and because there's so many expansions for it, it feels comfortable. It feels great. It feels like you can build upon this for a while. And I know if like when season 2 comes back, that was one of the things that should probably be looked at. This one is more of a personal one for me, and it's not really mods, but kind of pertains to like people in the next update coming. Like if you want to do a season 2, I feel like a lot of people got into the server for that season 1, and like after a week of grinding and speedrunning, immediately stopped playing on the server. And you kind of saw that, which comes down to something called, which is coming down to like my next topic in a bit, but you kind of saw the dwindling, how fast the interest dwindled in the server. And then they refused to play on the server, not even for events. And that's like something I observed. I was observing, and I feel like it wasn't just me. A few other people observed that there are people on the server that you've probably never met, and that's because they only showed up for like 2 weeks, like a week, or not even a full week, like probably a day or two, and then they disappeared.
Yeah, I
So
feel like people also had like other real life stuff and just other things
Yeah,
going
a
on.
lot of people were in classes and stuff, and then also a lot of people were online when we would be asleep.
Yeah, the time zones was also, I think, an issue. Trying to find event times that work for everybody and trying to work around. Like it was like really nice to have people from like we have people from Europe and then like America and the Caribbean, but sometimes the scheduling would really impact how much we were able to do and when.
yeah, so and that also comes to something else as well. So a good majority of the player base was actually from here, like Trinidad and Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really good, but it also really did affect the scheduling conflicts. And I think when we were talking about in the server, one of the issues that we were like talking about, and what something that Timmy pointed out was the fact that the server was 24/7.
I mean, the laptop was struggling.
Yeah. How do I want to say it? I feel like overall, how do I put this in the best way possible? I've said a little bit of it, but I feel like personally to me, a 24/7 server isn't the major issue. Because, at least from like a player engagement standpoint, because I think one of the main complaints we always saw for a while was that people were playing on the server longer, so it was harder for some people to catch up. But I'm like, if it's 24/7, you can come on the server, catch up at your own pace, and play at your own pace. And that's why it's a lot more comfy for people who don't exactly share the exact same time zone. It's a lot more flexible in that way. So, because I think there were times where I was just a little bit a little bit more engaged with something else at the time, like a project, or when I would be out on work, that I would actually not be able to join the server and play as much. Don't get me wrong, I was still probably one of the top players on the server. That's just me, because I'm horrible at concentration. So I would probably, most of the time when you saw me on the server and being online, it was probably because I was working.
Oh, and you just happened to be online.
I was working. Yeah. I have the server up in the background. I would literally be on my desk in the server, and like I would be actually doing work in the background. I did animation projects and commissions while I was on the server doing my thing.
That's cool though.
Yeah. So it was definitely something. I feel like maybe in the future, probably scheduling. Like the one thing that I feel like was needed a little bit more was scheduling, and more scheduling between.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially before, like, if we know that there's people from the EU and the UK, or not even think we have, like, I think Cham is from the Philippines, so, or Malaysia or something.
Lots of different time zones.
Yeah.
That was the reason why the server was 24/7 to begin with, because we have people from like Germany and Asia and stuff.
Yeah, so then it wouldn't be fair to be like, oh, the server's only up for like this amount of time, like from here to here, because then some people that's like, like 3 in the morning for them.
Yeah, so I feel like that's like the biggest fellas, I'm gonna be real, that experience was good. Met great people and had great experiences, but it should have more frequent events and more planning ahead of time, or an official schedule. Unfortunately, time zone was a real struggle too. Yeah, 100% Ray. I agree, because if I'm thinking back about it, one of the biggest issues was planning. Because while that was a really good solid start. I feel like every 2 weeks or so there'd be an event that'd be happening.
Yeah, but then we I realized, wow, like it's kind of hard to keep this momentum going up, like especially when we didn't have our concrete like story, like we want to hit these story beats. I was talking to Knowles about that the other day. I feel like that really impacted like how quickly we could host events, because it's like we had to actually sit down and be like, okay, where are we going next, or what are we doing next? And that's like one of the biggest takeaways from this experience for me is we need to have a plan going on, at least for like the first, like, and I feel also like a timeline, because like, is it a server that's gonna run indefinitely, or is it gonna run for like 3 months?
I like how you brought that up, by the way. I like how you brought that up. Because one of the things that we were discussing this as well, like the same day the server went down. 3 months, like for this server type and style, I feel like a 3-month like server still being 24/7, granted, but 24/7, but only be up for 3 months. So it's a limited experience in terms of you know that the server is going down at the end of the 3 months. We are not going to make any room for you know, we probably may do like a week extra for exceptions. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, that 3 month when the 3 months is over, you're supposed to have your story concluded or at least being able to wrap it up.
Yeah, then I feel like it also depends on like the scope, and I feel like
Yeah.
RuneThorne was kind of an ambitious project, and so that 3 months that we
Our
started with.
first time. I think we went longer than 3 months,
We did.
didn't we?
We went longer than 3 months, but I remember originally it was kind of like, yeah, well, we'll keep it on for like 3 months-ish. That was never gonna
Yeah.
be enough time.
Yeah. We just saying 5 months. 5 months. You want this server to be 5 months, or you want to be for 3 months? Because like, or are you saying that it was around for 5 months? It's going as long as my course. No.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah. It's wild to think about that, but I feel like 3 months was like the ideal. It would have been ideal for this server, and especially with like the whole university obligations as well, because I'm looking at Ray, what Ray is saying as well, and Ray has like probably a very solid point. That and just making sure everything is a lot more planned. So like I'm not saying railroad people, like how in a D&D session you would railroad your players into a certain direction if they're not doing this and that, but have your points laid out. So when you reach the milestone, you go forward. You go forward, and you know that you have to meet these milestones before the end in terms of overarching story. And whatever people do along that path, that's the path. Because I feel like when we started off, the milestones were there, and you can see the milestones. People first week, first 2 weeks, people arriving and they starting their story. So they're setting up a foundation and they have enough time to actually think about mining, farming, setting up their base and what they want, and having a little bit of weapons and armor. Very simple. The other 2 weeks was more engagement, setting up story beats for the world. So stuff like the quiz at the Ironclad, the first raid event where you raided the dungeon, and even some of the other stuff like the debates and so on and so forth. All of that being planned out. If you wanted those to be story beats, yeah, that and the Spring Festival. All of these things. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm starting to critique it, or like if I'm in a principal
No.
right now.
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
We're having a discussion. I think
Yeah.
it's good feedback. It's good to like reflect on what went well and what went not as well, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, no, like, it went. I want to say that it was good. It was being planned out and executed well. I think the only downfall is when it came to the community planning. So you know how people wanted to do law bits together, wanted to establish law, and we had to find. Sometimes it was hard to find ways to establish law, especially with the second wave of players, because some of them came in really strong. Mind you, some of the players that came in were extremely talented. I'm still thinking about how Hebe and Catalyst have some really nice models, and
Yeah.
Mishi as well.
Gosh, now I'm thinking about that. All like the models and the skins and the art.
Yeah. So yeah, no, and it's genuinely good. And on top of that, it's fascinating. It's enchanting. I am not going to say any. I feel like they had the qualities about them that would have probably been more interesting to see explored. But I feel the second wave we started seeing some like interest and intrigue die down. And probably, if I have to say something, probably the second wave was not as successful as it should have been. It didn't bring the population up. I feel like that's when the player count started to die down a little bit. And
I think that's more on. Sorry, you can go ahead and then I'll say it. But
yeah, but I think it's probably around the time where the player count started to die down, and it also kind of opened up something, which is the whole server load issue that we had with the load bearing, and these server becoming very laggy. So, which wasn't an issue before, became an issue, but
Yeah, when we had like a bunch of people online and then the voice chat mod just could not.
Yeah, just started breaking.
yeah. So, yeah, it feels like I don't want to say, of course, that second wave was bad, because then we wouldn't have met so many more interesting players and more interesting people in the community overall. But it was something. Or let's see. Yeah, you can. What were you going to say? What were you going to say?
I was gonna say I feel like that was more on us, and I'll say specifically me, because I feel like in order to keep people's interest, you need to have things happen and things for people to do, and that was where I fell short. Is where I needed, again, with like the plan, I just need to be like, okay, even if you don't have like exactly a plan in mind, say I want to have concepts of this plot point or this event that I want to do around this time, I think that would have really helped to kind of keep things on track and kind of keep people coming back, so because they know, okay, well, I have this event to look forward to, so I'll like log on today so I can prepare stuff. So I don't blame like the players for like dwindling or anything like that, because I know life happens and like people get distracted, and if you don't give people something to be excited about, you can't expect them to keep logging on every day,
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. That's a very valid point. Very true point. I feel like there's so much I've said so far. Also, would you believe 2 hours have passed? I feel like there's so much that goes into the development of something and making it great, that it becomes harder the longer that you're running it. So, which kind of leads me to, I want to say, we reaching the climax of this entire thing. The future. What is in store for RuneThorne? So, I feel like everything so far with the first season has been an overall learning experience, like a great learning experience, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
And, well, I already kind of said it. I'm gonna still ask people on the server, hey, I'm gonna do a nice little collaborative event. We're gonna have fun, guys. We're gonna play Lethal Company. We're gonna scream our hearts out. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Lethal Company, yippee!
Yeah, the gods might be gone, server might be dead, but money's still out to make.
Games still have to play.
Games still out to play. Let's get this bread for capitalism. What else, boy? The RuneThorne, I feel like, for me, I think this is a good learning experience. Probably in the interim, do surveys. I'm saying this like if I'm actually staff, by the way. Y'all should do the surveys.
Are you trying to get a promotion, Naku?
Yes.
You want to join the RuneThorne staff team?
Make me the RuneThorne community manager, and I will. Let me say. Hold on. Let me say this like Kratos. Afia, make me the RuneThorne community manager, and the player engagement will be yours.
RuneThorne to the moon. But yeah, I think definitely more help and just like more opinions would, I think, really help as well. But I think we owe it to ourselves for starting this project, but also to all of you for believing us. To RuneThorne will be back, and we will finish the overall story of the server and everyone's individual stories. Even if it's not something grand, I think just for the satisfaction of saying that we all got to be a part of something from start to end, with possibly, community manager Nakudan and lore writer Navida. Into.
And then you're gonna see both of us switching roles from time to time, because God, Davita's gonna be like, Naku, help me write this, please. I'm like,
And you're
Davita,
gonna bust into the writer's room.
Davita's gonna bust into the writer's room, into my community management room, and she's gonna be like, Naku, help me with this. And I'm gonna bust into the writer's room and be like, hey, Navita, you can deal with this person for me, please. There's a customer out front of this square we. Navita, save me.
People are scary.
Oh my god. Philip, the moment y'all opened up the server, Lamar, I'll work on that. I'll work on that next time. It was an amazing project, especially for the first time. Y'all did good. Yeah, you did good. You did. Pat yourself on the back. And once again, shout out to Timmy. And also shout out to King.
Shout out to Timmy.
For,
and shout out to King.
Yeah, for,
Timmy was
maintenance.
crashing out.
So when you talk to me, be like, hey, we add this money and he started to tweak.
Yeah. The mod stuff was like, all the mods and stuff were great. Probably ahead of time next time, probably think about asking people what mods they want and probably what mods could possibly work, so y'all have enough time to test it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I am going to start writing Ironclad lore for the Ironclad because, oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna steal the reins from like everybody in the Ironclad. I'm telling you, yeah, I'm tired of them. I'm tired of them running the show. Here's what, I'm the leader of the Ironclad. Deal with it.
You're in charge now.
Yeah,
I'm the Avatar and you gotta deal with it.
Yeah. Oh my god, and I'm can't wait to play the Avatar fighting game when I get the chance.
Real.
Real. That on Marvel token.
Real.
But I need to. I feel like we've covered everything. Any other closing words other than that? RuneThorne is going to be up. I think this week for its final closing foray.
It's so emotional. It's been 5 months of our lives.
I'll never get this time back. Where's my cheese? I'm going to go and store all my cheese underneath the server in a cheese vault.
The cheese vault.
Yeah.
It'll just age more.
Yeah,
it'll be like
perfectly
premium
aged cheese. When I wake back up, it's because somebody disturbed the cheese vault and I just appear in the server. I'm like, who disturbed the cheese vault?
You're gonna censor disturbance.
Yeah, and then it's like a Dark Souls boss. Just like, you're gonna see Ernan Darak, the last Warforged and Cheese Guardian.
And cheese guardian. Oh, so you can think of like walk into the vault and a health bar appears like, oh.
Yes. Ain't gonna be an easy fight too, because Jesus Christ, y'all do remember that I was just disappearing at times and fighting and killing people, right? When y'all doing combat. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
We
And
didn't
look,
talk about what's that boss name? The anointed one or something like that, the big mage.
the ascended one.
Boy.
The ascended one.
The armor destroyer.
The ascended one.
Y'all were bastards, by the way, for summoning the ascended one when we were fighting Ignis, by the way.
It wasn't.
I know who it is. I'm looking at them.
I didn't expect that fight to be so hard. I just dropped the main boss from the ceiling, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, but it was fun. It was fun. Let me see if there's anybody who I can read before I go off. No fucking way. Natty is streaming. The Natty TNT.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Well, yeah. So you already know. I have to go with the number one bread man, Lophius of RuneThorne thing. He came in for a short while, and he was probably the most essential person on RuneThorne because bread.
Of course, definitely.
But thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Afia. Let me quickly give a shout out to Afia. Let me remember how to spell the lunarafia.
You got it. You got it.
Rafia, yes.
Yeah.
And thank you for having us. It's a wonderful podcast. Can't wait for the future episodes.
Yes, I'm going to have to actually download this board and actually edit it up to make it more palatable and without mods. And I'll definitely be uploading this as TikTok short, so I have content. I have content for a month. Yay!
You hear that, Rafia?
Yes.
What I have to do with me?
You made a post on your Discord, I think, talking about how you've been really consistent, and then you stopped posting immediately after that.
I have to stop doing that. I giving people hope. My bad, everybody.
Yeah. But we're gonna head out. Thank you everybody for coming through. And we are about to raid Natty TNT. Go make sure to wish the bread man a happy loafing Friday.